any of our listeners could too. Awaken 180 is a game changer. No working out, no pills, no hunger. Find out during your first call to the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online, awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Hola, amigos! It's the big noise, Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey sports station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app. Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
All right, Joel Nelson for Fan Headlines. Pitt basketball today is back in action. They're going to take on NC State at noon from the Peterson Event Center. And that game right here on The Fan with coverage beginning at 11:30. Catch it all on the free Odyssey app as well. More headlines at 937thefan.com. Right now, a Saturday morning with Jim Collins.
Keeping you up to date, even on the weekend.
Did you hear that?
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Yeah, here we are for an extended version of the Jim Colony extravaganza. Not sure what I'm doing here, quite honestly, and I'm sure many of you that tune in during this time period over the winter sometimes wonder the same thing, like, what the hell is this guy doing here? But I'm only on for an hour today because we got Pirate Fest, baby. Nothing says Pirate Fest like an approaching winter storm that has instilled panic among, well, maybe not the entire populace, but, you know, since I'm old and retired and stuff, and our big excitement a lot of days is going to the store. So we're just doing like routine errands on Thursday and pulled up to a Giant Eagle, and the parking lot was absolutely jammed on Thursday. So maybe what I should do instead of, you know, talking about, and sometimes I don't talk about sports, which I know irritates people quite a bit. We just sit here and talk about the weather. Why we get Shumway on? Who else should we get on? Who's another big? Well, I could get like Ray Petlin, Ashley Doherty. Like, let all the weather people from Scott Harbaugh get one from each station. Just get them all on and talk about the weather. And hey, look, it is important, and apparently we are going to get hammered. And to get this back into sports, the last time that we got this big of a storm was 16 years ago. around, it was like Super Bowl. And it was right when this station was coming on the air. We hadn't even been on the air yet because we had a party at our house which featured people who had never been to Pittsburgh. Well, maybe they'd been to Pittsburgh, but they were moving to Pittsburgh, like Vinny Giannotti. They came. Trying to think, Troy Clardy, who was the midday producer at the time. I think he may have come. I can't remember who else came, but that was the last time that we had a really big snowstorm. But we're ready for it because we've had 3 days warning. And even today on the way in, and here's the thing, I had to pick up a couple things because we're, getting ready since we won't be able to go out on Sunday. So what are we going to have? We're going to have burgers. That we've had patties in the freezer, so take them out. So we're going to have burgers tomorrow. We already know this. But we didn't have any Hamburg buns. So we actually did go to stores yesterday, too. There were no Hamburg buns there yesterday at Aldi. That was where we were yesterday. So I figured, on the way in, instead of waiting until I go home, like around, 10:15, 10:30 on the way back up Route 8, that I'd stop into Giant Eagle on the way down at 7:30, which I did, and got some Hamburg buns. So we're good. But it is good to be prepared. I don't want to downplay this because, we're lucky enough that, we're going to be fine. Even if the power goes out, we don't have a generator, but we have, plenty of batteries and we got the lantern. We got everything lined up just in case. The only thing is that like tomorrow is a huge football day. So it's actually not all that bad as long as you have power. Because if you're stuck inside tomorrow afternoon, which also, by the way, may be a storm where you need to go out and shovel in shifts. You have to be careful when you say that. But you want to shovel in shifts so that if we are going to get, say, a foot of snow, and people my age aren't even supposed to shovel snow, doctors say, but what else are we going to do here? You go out after about, 3 or 4 inches, and then you go out again after another 3 or 4 inches, and then so forth and so on. So you go out there and shovel 2, 3, 4 times because there's really nothing else to do. However, tomorrow is a great day because it is Championship Sunday in the NFL. And you've got 2 games, 3 o'clock. You got 6:30. You also have the Penguins, who all of a sudden are hot again, and they've got a game at 6 our time from Vancouver. So there's some pretty good, watching opportunities here after 3 tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so with that in mind, here's what's going on today. All right, this is an abbreviated version of the show. So there's no Pompiani today. And he double-checked with me yesterday because he wasn't aware of our Pirate Fest coverage, but that's fine. We have Pirate Fest coverage coming up at 10, so that's why I'm only here for an hour. And, in fact, I see online that Jason Mackey has already posted on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it, but he's already there. He made sure that he got there early for Pirate Fest at the Convention Center, and so he's there. The Convention Center, by the way, is a triple header. So, again, being retired, what else do we have to do? We went to the AAA Travel Expo, which is at the Convention Center. Pirate Fest is at the Convention Center. And also at the Convention Center, the World of Wheels. Is that all these things are going on at once. It's like a perfect storm of Convention Center stuff. So you got the Travel Expo, you got the World of Wheels, and you got Pirate Fest. That's today at 10, and we'll have live coverage with Dan Zangrilli and a whole bunch of other people starting at 10 o'clock. So I may touch on the Pirates very briefly. By the way, so we'll open up the phone lines here. I don't have my reads, Joel, but that's okay. 412-928-9370. That's also the Edgar Snyder and Associates fan text line where they always say there's never a free fee unless we get money for you. All right, so that's Edgar Snyder and Associates text line. So we got that out of the way. Not that we get it out of the way because we love Edgar Snyder and we also love his associates. And we also love the text line. But I'm not going to be on the text line today. However, 412-928-9370. I would like to hear from you if you're on your way to Pirate Fest. And you actually are kind of excited about Pirate Fest this year because they've done some stuff in the off season so far. And there's still room for more. But So if you're excited about Pirate Fest, you're going, then, give us a call. Maybe you went last night. If anything jumped out at you, O'Neal Cruz cut his hair. So maybe that'll be a anti-Samson kind of thing. Who knows? And he'll make contact more frequently. But so we have Pirate Fest coming up at 10 o'clock today. And then coming up at 9:40, we're going to talk to Brian Batko, who covers the Steelers for the Post-Gazette. Got ahead of myself there for a second. But Brian Batko with a PG is going to join me at 9:40. And in between, I'm going to talk about the Pirates a little bit and also about the Penguins. But Brian is at Little Dudes basketball practice today until 9:30. So I asked a few people, trying to get people to come on. And what I found is that some of the people that I'd like to have on Saturday mornings between 9 and 11, and next week it'll be till 11:30, but a lot of people have Little Dude basketball practice on Saturday mornings, which brings me back. I miss Little Dude's basketball practice because that's what we did. Saturday mornings, the YBA, the North Hills Y, the YBA, you have the Little Dudes basketball, which is really kind of fun because you got some little dudes that their parents play, their parents played, so they've got a leg up on some of the other little dudes and aren't as experienced with basketball. And so it's like all sorts of little kids sports. But, so Brian's got Little Dudes basketball practice, and I think his little dude is like 6, so that's like really little. And then another guy that I'd like to have on is David DeCastro because, there's some Steelers stuff going on. Dave's hanging around. And so he's got Little Dudes basketball today. But I don't know how long his Little Dudes basketball lasts because today I had a very short window when I asked him. And so maybe next week, maybe the week after I'm not going to be on. But at some point in February, maybe we'll be able to get him on because maybe his Little Dudes basketball gets out different. Well, anyway. And then the other guy that I've been trying to get on the last 2 weeks is Donnie Kelly, Pirates manager. And I figured today was useless because, well, even if he has Little Dudes basketball, he has Pirate Fest responsibilities. So he'll be doing that later on this morning. But it brings me back to those days. I mean, I miss Little Dudes basketball at the old, do they still do it? The North Hills Y at Ingomar Middle School. Now the Barrel YMCA, though, in the North Hills, it used to be that little tiny YMCA where there's a Walgreens at the intersection of McKnight Road and Perry Highway. There was a little tiny Y. And so that wasn't big enough even for Little Dudes basketball, so we had it at the middle school. And if they have it now, they probably have a nice big YMCA over on, Nicholson Road? Because I'm a, North Hills-centric kind of person. But so shout out to everybody who's got Little Dudes basketball on Saturday mornings because I really do miss Little Dudes basketball. Now my phone's blowing up, probably from people that are on their way to Little Dudes basketball. But, the Steelers, there's a little bit going on with the Steelers, as you may know. And so we'll talk to Brian. We'll save that. We'll talk to Brian Batko about that. And because Brian has his ear to the ground when it comes to that. Had another interview yesterday with Anthony Weaver, who I don't know if you would consider him a dark horse candidate, but I think he's a serious candidate. So we'll get into those things with Brian. That's coming up at 9:40. And then, Pirates, if you do want to check in, 412-928-9370 will get you on if you're particularly excited about the Pirates because they're actually doing stuff. They brought in some hitters. They need to bring in more hitters, or at least one more hitter. It's obvious which one more hitter they need to bring in. So we'll get to that in a second. But I just want to start out with the Penguins here because, man, the Penguins they're worth talking about here because they're relevant. And the one thing from our standpoint, I mean, from a fan standpoint, you want your team to be really good and you want your team to win. From my standpoint, and from somebody that covers it, follows it standpoint, you want them to be relevant. Which is why the Pirates have been annoying because they weren't relevant. And now they need to get to a point where they need to be relevant on the, 4 games where Paul Skeens is not starting. And maybe they're getting there. Maybe they're getting there with the young pitching depth that they have. And again, if they could develop some frickin' hitters, that would certainly help a lot. But the Pirates are getting to the relevancy standpoint. The Penguins, obviously, they've been winners. They've been relevant. They've been everything until the last few seasons where they haven't been able to make the playoffs. But now all of a sudden, the Penguins are second in their division? How did that happen? But we saw earlier in the season that it can just as quickly go the other way, where the Penguins were one of the surprise teams early on. Then all of a sudden they lost 8 straight games. I think they might have taken 2 points over that span. But, they lose 8 straight games, and it looks like, oh, okay, here we go. We're tanking for McKenna, whatever. And they're not relevant again. And then, all of a sudden, now they're relevant once more. There have been some things that have mirrored how good they've been, but they've had to get through injuries here. First it was Raquel, and then it was Brian Rust. And now on defense, the Penguins, they'd been without Erik Karlsson, and then they were without both Erik Karlsson and Chris Letang in Calgary. And then Karlsson came back, and then they were just without Letang in Edmonton. But they went 2-0-2 without Karlsson. They went 1-0. They won the game in Calgary without both of those guys. So maybe there's something to be said for paying attention to team defense. Although then in the absence of those guys, you saw some defensemen who, scoring goals. Like Wotherspoon had a goal in a game, and Wotherspoon and Kulak had goals in the same game, I believe. Jack St. Ivany, who was a healthy scratch, comes back, and he's got 4 points in his last 3 games, but he had two assists in both of the last 2 games. So they've been able to get by without their 2 best defensemen, and yet they played a more responsible game. Is that the way that we say it in the NHL? You play a more responsible game, an honest game. You take less chances. You pay more attention to defense. So there's something to be said for that. And I've always thought, and I know Mike Sullivan's kind of fallen out of favor here, especially in New York, and the way things are going here, the way things are going with the Rangers. But I think he said this, but maybe coaches have said this forever. Really in all sports, at least sports that are where, like football's a platoon sport, so that's a little bit different. But in terms of a game that goes back and forth where you have to play offense and defense while you're in play, is that, I've always thought this in basketball. If you pay attention to defense, the offense is going to take care of itself. Good defense is going to lead to offensive chances. And the same thing is true in hockey. The same thing is true in soccer. If you pay attention to shutting down the other team and causing turnovers, wreaking havoc, mayhem, whatever you want to call it. But if you're responsible, although I guess you don't want havoc and mayhem because that's not really responsible. But you play solid defense, you pay attention to that, it's going to create chances automatically. You don't have to manufacture opportunities when you create chances by playing really good defense. And then the other thing that's happened here with the Penguins is that the goaltending is good. And I know Tristan Jarry was good earlier at the beginning of the season, and he always seemed like a good guy to me. And you'll have to pardon me if I say a good kid just because I'm old and these guys are actually nowadays they're, some people my age probably have grandchildren the same age as like Ben Kindle, for example. But he always seemed like a really good guy. And he's got talent, but there was always, to me, something missing. You don't have to be as intense as, say, Tom Barrasso. But, you get guys like Marc-Andre Fleury who are as, carefree as they come off the ice. But on the ice, very few are more intense than Marc-Andre Fleury. But there was always something missing with Tristan Jarry. We certainly saw that in the playoffs a few years ago where he single-handedly cost a decent Penguins team that might have had a chance to contend in that Islander series. So it was actually kind of funny the other day in Edmonton when they put up 3 goals over the span of 37 seconds. It's less than 4 minutes into the game, and they had 3-0. 3 goals, 37 seconds apart. And 2 of those goals were scored by Anthony Mantha, which is another part of this story, which is all the good stuff that Kyle Dubas has done. Now, when he first came in here, one mistake was Tristan Jarry. by giving him the contract that he did, because we had seen firsthand what Jari had done in the postseason and why he was not seen as, at least by us, he was not, you just didn't want him anywhere near part of the Penguins' future based on what we had seen. And yet one of the first things Dubas did when he came in here was to give him a big contract for too much money, too long, too much money. And yet he made up for that, kind of like Jim Rutherford used to do this kind of stuff. He made up for that by being able to trade him for Stuart Skinner, who was underachieving in Edmonton. They also got Kulak in the deal, too. So he made up for that. And then, Ryan Graves is another thing, although Graves has played okay in the couple of games that they've had to bring him up because of the Karlsson and then the Letang injuries. Don't know if he'll stick around here now, but that was another, contract. It was a bad contract, although I don't think any of us at the time when they signed Ryan Graves, you remembered him, I think, as the guy who played for the Devils, right? That he was a good player. Maybe that was a product of their system. At any rate, that he's been able to make up for that. The Penguins actually have a whole bunch of salary cap space now. But to bring in Anthony Mantha, Justin Brazeau, Parker Wotherspoon, these look like, I was like, may as well take a chance on these guys. You're not spending a lot of money. You're not investing a lot into these guys. And the return that they've got on those minor investments has been nothing short of spectacular. And if you want to at least partially credit Wotherspoon with Erik Karlsson's season, that's certainly an argument that can be made. Is Karlsson playing better? Because now it's become pretty obvious that he didn't respond to whatever Mike Sullivan's teaching was with him. That's part of it too. But Karlsson is night and day compared. And look, when you get a guy like that, we've seen it with Chris Letang for years. When you've got a guy who is as naturally talented and gifted offensively with that kind of a mind and that kind of a, that kind of hockey sense, it can lead to, hockey nonsense, where you just make mistakes because you try to do stuff that, as good as you are, that sometimes you just can't pull it off, and it leads to success for the other team. You end up hurting your own team because of your own skill and your belief in your own skill. But you've got a responsible partner with Wotherspoon, and I can't remember who the guys who have played with Karlsson here over the last couple of years, but Wotherspoon has been he's been great. I think great isn't too much of an exaggeration. And then you've got, Sid has said, you've got Brian Rust, who's been playing through some injuries, and Brian Rust is Brian Rust. But how about Evgeny Malkin? I mean, he's rejuvenated, and I know he was banged up, came back, but Malkin's been really, really good. Even Crosby. I mean, they're not going to be like what they were 10, 15 years ago when they were in their early 20s or mid-20s, I guess, 15 years ago. But they're going to be, but they're still Hall of Fame generational talents. The talent is still there. The speed sometimes isn't. I'd still like to see Malkin back with Mantha and Brazeau, because that's how it started out at the beginning of the season. They're all huge, and they were working really well together. But according to, and I think this is something I read with Josh Yohe in The Athletic, that Malkin had mentioned in the offseason that he thought he'd play well with Tommy Novak, and that's what's going on right now. And then you got Kendall with them sometimes. I'd still like to see him back with Mantha and Brazeau. But, having Kendall with those guys isn't horrible. And then, another Dubas thing that he did recently that, and he did this with, Philip Tomasino, that didn't really work out. And teams have done this over the years. Craig Patrick used to do this with defensemen that were former first-round picks that, for whatever reason, didn't pan out with their teams. If he had a chance to pick them up, he did. And, typically they didn't work out here either. But it was worth a shot. And with Igor Chinnikov, whatever the heck was going on in Columbus, I have no idea. But it doesn't seem to matter who he plays with on the Penguins, that he doesn't seem to mind playing with anybody. The only people it seems he minded playing with were guys on the Columbus Blue Jackets. And then the other thing is, that's really been an inspiration to me, and a buddy of mine might think that I'm overstating this and that it doesn't really matter. I read that someplace. But the fourth line has really been a uniting force on the Penguins. And they haven't all been healthy at the same time. The most recent guy who was out was Blake Lizotte. And he in particular is a guy, he kills penalties. He's one of their better penalty kill, one of their best penalty killers, maybe the best penalty killer. He draws penalties, which is pretty cool. But you've got Noel Acciari, Blake Lizotte, and then who am I forgetting here? Oh, Connor Dewar, because all he does is score goals, apparently, because he's had two goal games in his last 9. He's got, 7 goals his last 11. But you put those guys together, and you can, when you have a fourth line that you can put out there against any other team, pretty much any other team's lines. Do you want him out there against McDavid and Draisaitl? Well, I don't know. Maybe they were out there against him the other night, but maybe not. But you can pretty much put him out there against anybody and not feel bad about it, whether it's in your offensive zone, your defensive zone. You can put him out anywhere, and that's a real advantage. It gives the Penguins an advantage over other teams. And then the goalies have been really good. As long as Shilovs isn't in a shootout, he's been better than average. And Stuart Skinner has not only been really good, but he's really been quietly excellent, if you can be quietly excellent. So the Penguins have actually put something together here that's worth paying attention to, and they put themselves in an excellent spot. They're 3-0 on this Western Canada road trip that, granted, isn't as daunting as it used to be. When you had to go to, when Vancouver was good and when Edmonton recently has been playing pretty well, but there have been instances where, and I know Seattle's part of the equation now too, but where all three of those teams, Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver, have all been really good. And that's a difficult road trip. But the Penguins are 3-0 on that trip so far, with a pretty good chance to make it 4-0 because their final game is in Vancouver tomorrow afternoon. But here's the thing, though, is that just when you think, and this has happened before, where you're thinking, oh, man, the Penguins are playing really well. They're not on fire, but they're hot. Can you be hot without being on fire? I believe you can. But they've been playing really well. And then you're thinking, oh, man, they can really clean up now because they got all these points coming up right in front of them against some bad teams, starting later on today. That's when things seem to sometimes fall apart. But maybe this team has a little bit of a different mindset when it comes to that kind of stuff. And maybe they're refreshed after hanging out. And I imagine they're hanging out in Banff, or were. Or they still are. They'd still be there today. And that's one of the advantages of that. You play back-to-back in Alberta, and then you got a game in Vancouver, but not for a couple of days. So where do you go? You go to Banff. And you hang out, and you just enjoy the luxuries that Banff has to offer, even though it's probably, who knows, minus whatever degrees there. All right, so there we go. Maybe I'll touch on the Pirates a little bit coming up next. If not, we'll get to Brian Batko. We'll talk Steelers. You may have heard there is some stuff going on with the Steelers, so we'll get a hold of Brian if he's done with Little Dudes basketball coming up next here on 93.7 The Fan.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Get the latest on Pittsburgh sports from anywhere with the Odyssey app. Listen to shows and Pirate games live. Check out our exclusive interviews and content anytime. Download the Odyssey app now and never miss a minute. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Noon this afternoon, Pitt basketball back in action. They'll take on NC State at the Peterson Event Center, and it's right here on The Fan with coverage beginning at 11:30. Tomorrow, NFL Championship Sunday, Patriots and Broncos at 3. Rams and Seahawks follows at 6:30. Both those games right here on 93.7 The Fan, your home for the NFL on Westwood One, who will be carrying both games. And coverage will begin at 2 o'clock. Both games available to stream on the free Odyssey app as well. More headlines, 937thefan.com. Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
Ring in the new year with a little magic from Spitzer Toyota Monroeville. Want a lifetime warranty and complimentary maintenance? Want rewards and an easy-to-use Spitzer VIP app? Granted. Want to lease a new 2026 Toyota Corolla LE from $165 a month? Granted. Hurry in and grant your New Year's wishes today. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Toyota Monroeville.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
TSRP 25,082. VIN 5YFB4 MDE 5TP 390565. 39 months. 4,999 due at signing through TMS with approved credit. Does not include title tax, license, registration, accessories, and dealer fees. $477 doc fee. 0 security deposit. 10K miles per year. See dealer for details. Ends 2/2/2026.
84 Lumber is your one-stop destination for top quality materials and personalized service. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a first-time do-it-yourselfer, 84 Lumber is open to the public and ready to help you with your project from estimate to build. Their 14 Pittsburgh area locations are open on Saturdays for your convenience. Don't wait. Visit your local 84 Lumber to stock up on supplies this weekend. And let's get building together.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The 65th Annual World of Wheels Custom Auto Show. Presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. January 23rd through 25th. Ticket Lawrence Convention Center, Pittsburgh. Discount tickets exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. See America's finest hot rods, customs, trucks, motorcycles, the cars of the stars. All weekend. World of Wheels Custom Auto Show. Presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. January 23rd through 25th. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores.
Chris Muller here again for my friends at MHI Roofing. The Pennsylvania winter is especially hard on the roof of your home. The folks at MHI want to remind you to keep an eye out for signs of winter roofing problems. Icicles hanging from your gutters, uneven snowmelt on your roof, or even water stains on your ceiling. If you see any of these, don't wait. Call the roofing experts at MHI Roofing. You see, unlike a lot of roofers in the area, MHI doesn't shut down during the winter. They know your roof problems can't wait until spring. They can be at your home within 24 hours, do a free 21-point inspection on your roof, diagnose the issue, and recommend a solution. And if it is time for a new roof, their highly trained installation teams will install it perfectly the first time, clean up after themselves, and leave your home and yard nicer than how they found it. So, if you see signs of winter roofing problems, don't wait. Set up your free, no-obligation roof inspection and estimate today. 412-998-8864 or online at mhiroof.com.
The reason many of us hate insurance companies is because some of them act like bullies. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been dealing with these creatures my whole career. Whether it's a workers' comp claim, an auto accident, or a nursing home or medical mishap, the playbook is often the same: deny and delay. We became the largest injury firm in America for a reason. We fight the bullies. They know who we are, and I know it makes a difference for our clients. Just go to forthepeople.com and see our results and our verdicts after those bullies gave us their final offer. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. It's easy to get going. Visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer, or call us on your cell at Pound Law, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan's Fan About Town. If you're over 60 and looking for a weight loss program built specifically for you, Awaken 180 is your solution with Awaken 180 Golden, a new 1 to 3 month program for fast weight loss tailored to those over 60. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Schley Deck and Fence Company. Call today for an estimate on your rotten, rusted, paint chipping railings. Get your railings safe again by spring. Call 412-515-6575. Schley Deck and Fence. SchleyDeckCompany.com. Looking for an incredible Pittsburgh fresh-made hoagie? Visit Tim's Corner Market in Beachview. Fresh house-made bread stacked high with the finest meats and premium toppings and packed with Pittsburgh flavor. The hoagie you didn't know you needed at Tim's Corner Market on Broadway Avenue in Beachview. For more information, visit 937thefan.com.
Live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Live in local sports news on the weekends? Imagine that. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
All right, Jim Pollini here. Only until 10 o'clock, because then St. Gurley's coming up from the convention center with Pirate Fest. Fan Twitter brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them, southhillskia.net. We'll get Brian Batko coming up here in about 7 or 8 minutes. So let's just go through just some more Pirate stuff here real quick, because there'll be a lot of Pirate talk coming up. Okay, and the Pirates they've done some stuff here. I mean, you know what they've done? They brought in Brendan Lau, Ryan O'Hearn, the password coming over from the Red Sox, who might be something. Jake Mangum might be somebody that, and then the left-handed guy, Montgomery, that they also got from Tampa Bay, who throws 100. So anytime you get somebody who throws 100, I mean, that's pretty cool. But, you know, like Paul Skeens was saying, Jason Mackey did a couple of stories where he visited Skeens at his new facility in Florida, where basically Skeens like, well, anybody can throw 100. You know, he's more concerned with I mean, this guy is fascinating. He's unbelievable, which is just accentuates the whole process of bringing in people to help this frickin' guy while he's here. And not only him, but the other young pitchers that they have. And the Pirates have always been able to come up with a decent bullpen, and they've always been able to find a closer one way or another. And they've been able to develop young starting pitchers. And why they can't develop young position players, I have no idea. Which, of course, brings us to Connor Griffin. And I see on MLB.com, they put out their list of the 100 top prospects. And I just went through it very quickly because, you know, you have to check just to make sure that Connor Griffin is number one, which he is. And then shout out to my favorite people. Some of my favorite people are from Mars, PA. J.J. Weatherholt is the number 5 prospect right now. And he's in the St. Louis organization. His ETA is 2026. I forgot to look at the thing that said where Griffin's ETA is. If they put, you know, like they have guys, they say they give you the guy's name, position, age, and then their ETA, you know, Major League ETA. And I didn't see if they put 2026 for Griffin. It better be. And it better be like late March, early April 2026, as long as spring training goes well. You know, to me, I don't think that's, if he proves in spring training and get him out there, if you can look at the spring training schedule and you can sort of, I don't know if you call it collude with other teams, but when you know that, you know, the other teams are bringing their ace pitchers, make sure he's in the lineup against those guys. You know, put him up against the best competition that you can to see if he's major league ready. And is that rushing him? I guess. And yet at the same time, he's moved up through the minors at just a ridiculously fast pace and has never looked out of place. So if that continues in spring training, goodness knows they have a spot in the lineup for him. So there's no reason for him to not start in the majors if he shows against major league competition during spring training that he's up to the task. Put him in there. But, can they count on him being able to contribute right away? I don't know. But to me, and I know that Dan Zangrilli's had some thoughts on this, that he doesn't think that Eugenio Suarez is a fit here in PNC Park. I don't care. And because they play 81 games in other ballparks that are not PNC Park. So if he's not, if his power isn't suited to PNC Park specifically, that's okay. That's okay because that's a position of need. And again, I'm throwing around other people's money, but he's been spending or not spending our money for a number of years. Overpay for the guy if you have to. Just a little bit. And who knows, the way things are going 2027, you may not have to pay anybody anyway if there isn't any baseball. So that's just a quick little rant as you're on your way to Pirate Fest. So coming up next, after coaching youth basketball, which should make some people happy. After coaching youth basketball, we'll get Brian Batko's take, not only on youth basketball and little kids and how it is coaching them, because it really is kind of fun. Well, no, not kind of fun. It is fun. Should be fun. If it's not fun, then what are they doing playing and coaching little kids to play basketball? Brian Batko of the Steelers Brian Batko of the Post-Gazette talking Steelers coming up next on The Fan.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
12 o'clock this afternoon, Pitt basketball back in action. They'll take on NC State at the Peterson Event Center, and it's right here on The Fan with coverage starting at 11:30. More headlines at 937thefan.com. Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Our draft coverage never rests.
It's draft day.
Powered by Bowser Chevrolet. The Fan is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know leading up to the big day. Presented by Target Freight Management and brought to you by your local AAA travel office.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Baker's Waterproofing is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Are you ignoring repeated notices that you owe PA Turnpike tolls? Think it will just go away? Wrong. Unpaid tolls don't vanish. They stack up fast. And so do the penalties. Suspended registration, mounting fines, court action. You can't dodge it. You can't outrun it. It's time to pay your fair share. Call 877-736-6727 to set up a payment plan. The PA Turnpike. Pay now. It's the law.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Bring in the new year with a little magic from Spitzer Acura in McMurray. Our Genie Pandas making car buying wishes come true. Want an exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty and complimentary maintenance at no extra charge? Granted. Want to enjoy complimentary service loaners and rewards in our easy-to-use Spitzer VIP app? Granted. Spitzer Acura delivers more power, more precision, more luxury. Luxury should come with New Year perks, and at Spitzer Acura, it does. Spitzer Acura in McMurray or online at spitzeracura.com. Not available on select new commercial and EV models. See dealer for details.
Need legal help without the high price tag? Turn to Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. Myers Law Group specializes in real estate legal solutions for residential and commercial clients. Considering buying or selling or a sale by owner, home or property, contact Myers Law Group first. Their experienced attorneys will make sure all documents are correct and all promises are kept before the sale. Call Myers Law Group today at 724-778-8800 or visit jpmyerslaw.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two get two free offer.
At JeepOfPittsburgh.com, it's our Start Something New sales event. Bring us your best offer on any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram truck, and we're going to beat it. No games, easy as that. Visit JeepOfPittsburgh.com for all the details. We truly are Pittsburgh's Jeep store.
Looking to turn your firearms into cash? Keystone Shooting Center is here with top dollar offers. From a single piece to an entire collection, they make it easy. Stop by Keystone Shooting Center today for a free, no obligation appraisal and walk out with a great deal. Your unused gear is their business. Visit Keystone Shooting Center at 925 Sheridan Drive in Mars. They buy used guns and they pay top dollar. Keystone Shooting Center.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. Well, I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com.
All right, time is fleeting here. Jim Colony with you till 10. Then we got Pirate Fest coverage today. We also have Pitt basketball as well. So Pirate Fest, I think, is going to be up and down the aisle a little bit. So just listen to Dan Zangrilli. He'll fill you out. He'll fill you in, rather, when he takes over here at 10 o'clock from Pirate Fest. In the meantime, some quick Steeler talk with our buddy Brian Batko of the Post-Gazette, covers the Steelers. Brian, our podcast is beginning rave reviews, I understand, or is that not the case?
No, I think that's true. I think people were very happy to not just hear you, but see you, Jim. So, yes, thanks for coming on the PG podcast with me the other day.
That's right. And I told you it would cost you that you'd end up coming on with me after. How's your basketball coaching career going, by the way?
Oh, yeah, Little Dribblers today was great. Played some red light, green light. My son made a shot, so that was awesome.
Yes, that is. I really do miss those days, and you've got a lot of those in front of you, so that's great. All right, so I'm thinking here from a Steelers fan's standpoint, rooting interest later on today, or not today. I keep thinking today's Sunday, but tomorrow. Okay, so you don't really care who the. I don't think people really care who wins the AFC game, although most people around here probably still hate the Patriots. But if you're a Steeler fan, you want the Rams to lose, right? Because all of a sudden, then their coaches become available.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that could speed up the hiring process. That'd be a little bit of a catalyst for decision-making for the Steelers, because I think that's the interesting conundrum that they're in, or maybe dilemma is a more precise word. Act quickly now and make up your mind, do it with conviction with someone who's currently available to be hired, or be patient, do your due diligence, and kind of look at it from the perspective of patience is a virtue. And, we've only done this 3 times in the last 6 years, so why rush it?
Now, now there are 2 Kubiaks that are out there. One of them, Clay, he's already available. A because he was with the 49ers. But his brother, how come the other Kubiak, Clint, doesn't appear to be on the Steelers list, or is he? Because he's with Seattle. How come he doesn't appear to be on the Steelers list? And if unless we don't know about it, what's going on there?
Well, that's what I was going to say, Jim. He could be, but there's a weird loophole in the NFL coach interview hiring process rules that by the time the Steelers lost to the Texans on that fateful Monday night, and then Mike Tomlin steps down the next day, remember back, Seattle's getting ready for the divisional round game. So he wasn't even allowed to be scheduled or talked to virtually at that point. So, I mean, the Bills are really playing catch up with their process, but the Steelers didn't get a jump start on it either. So someone like Clint Kubiak was able to interview with the Falcons. Obviously, they went with Kevin Stefanski, but he was able to be on some other teams' radar while they had that bye. But because of the timing of it all, for all we know, the Steelers would have leaked it out, or Kubiak's people would have leaked it out to someone if they had interest in him. But at least from a purely technical procedural standpoint, they're in a holding pattern and kind of, in a rock and a hard place with him.
Now,
and the Broncos coaches, for that matter.
Yes, the Vance Joseph would be the man. And you think that the quarterback's coach is also could end up being a candidate?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Davis Webb, the Broncos quarterback's coach. He actually was like that class, and he was a third-round pick, so he wasn't bad in college or anything, but he was like that classic guy who was pretty much coaching already while he was a clipboard holder, in regular season games for the teams that he was with, and then he pretty much went right in to coaching. And I feel like, people's opinions may vary on Sean Payton, but the guy understands offense and scheme. And if he wanted to work with Webb, that's probably a pretty good sign.
Well, what if all of a sudden tomorrow Jarrett Stidham looks like a real NFL quarterback, and the Broncos win the game?
Exactly.
All of a sudden his stock rises.
We'll be saying, get the Webb Stidham combo package.
And the one
order
thing
that for 2026.
And we're talking to Brian Badko of the PG here. Now, Anthony Weaver, I always thought was kind of a longer shot and maybe it's because you think of, the guy's like a defensive lineman, but the thing is that my understanding is that he does command a room. He does have he had an interview yesterday here, an in-person interview, and what John Harbaugh had said about him, about commanding a room and having a presence. Apparently that actually is the case. What have you heard about that?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that if you just watch the guy's pressers. And, I also think by virtue of being 6'3", 290 or whatever it was when he played, you probably command a room pretty naturally when you walk into it. It's hard to be a shrinking violet when you're like that. So, but no, he's got the, I think, kind of the charisma to back it up as well. But the bigger question with him is, what about just the X's and O's, acumen? The Dolphins defense was nothing to really write home about this season. So it's kind of a little bit of a weird timing thing for him. He would have been a hotter name last year, I would think. But, this year it is kind of good too. Like whether it's for Weaver or someone else who's in a similar situation, I think it is generally a good thing for teams to not fully be prisoners of the moment, recency bias. Oh, your defense dropped off last season. These things can happen. There can be reasons for that. If you think someone's an established candidate for stuff that goes beyond just the sheer numbers and statistics, then yeah, keep them on your list and keep talking to them.
Do you think that Mike McCarthy apparently is a serious candidate? But he's not the antithesis. Well, maybe he is the antithesis just because he's 30 years older than the guys that the Steelers have brought in to be head coaches the last time they hired him. But would you like that? Do you think that would make any sense? Or should the Steelers follow the pattern that they followed by hiring guys in their 30s, or in this case, maybe their 40s?
I think it would only make sense if you've got sort of a real clear-cut plan in place for, okay, we're going to drop in McCarthy, and then, he's got this staff that he plans on bringing along with him that's going to be maybe a little younger, more energetic, forward-thinking, and he's going to really pad it out. Because he had some really good assistants under him in Dallas and Green Bay. So I don't necessarily view that as a weakness, per se, of McCarthy, but it's hard to not know who he's going to bring with him. So I think you got to have that in place. And, if Aaron Rodgers factors into that somehow, well, that's a whole other can of worms to open. But at least he is a sure thing in terms of he's been there, done that. There's no uncertainty, as there would be with someone like Chris Shula, and especially Nate Shieldhouse, who have never had that kind of responsibility in their coaching careers.
All right, a few more minutes with Brian Batko with the PG covering the Steelers. Boy, I just don't know. Well, let's go. Let me skip ahead here. Your colleague Ray Fittipaldo played the always popular, and I love these things, and they're almost like mock drafts where it's the old cut, keep, or trade game that you play. Even though it's a little bit early for that, because I think one of the things we have to see is who ends up being the coach, and then what they end up doing in terms of roster makeup. But I'll
for exercise this year for sure.
Yeah, I'll go down the list, and I might leave out the free agents. We might not even get to them because there are quite a few others.
Not going to hit Trey Flowers.
No, I did see that he was. I don't even know why he was on this list, but he was beyond. He was behind. Oh, I did look. This is harsh. Where Ray for Miles Killebrew let him walk. My goodness. I mean, I would that seems kind of harsh. Maybe we will get down to the special teams captain, but let's start with the stars. Cam Hayward, obviously he's got another year on his deal. Keep, trade, cut.
I'm at a point now where I'm almost going to choose the fourth option of I would go to Cam Hayward and say, what do you want to do? Do you want us to look for a trade for you? We're probably not going to redo the deal at your age, but I guess keep would be my simplest answer.
Yeah, because the thing is, he's been like arguably their best player each of the last 2 years, right? Who's been better than he has, and he's stayed healthy too. So anyway, I would agree with you. I would keep him, and I wonder how that would go over with the fan base. Not that would matter that much after what happened last offseason and the dissatisfaction with the way he handled it. If they say, well, wait, why are they giving him a choice based on what he did last year? But anyway. All right. No, I've been in favor of trading T.J. Watt for the last 2 off seasons, and I would be in favor of doing it again, even though his value is diminished probably quite a bit from what it would have been a year ago. But what say you?
I would say the same, but with the caveat that I don't know how much he's going to fetch you right now on the open market with how hefty that contract is, and with how much his production dipped a little last year. And I think he's another guy, too. He's such a franchise icon that I'd probably go to him and say, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to go chase a ring at this juncture? Or are you cool with starting over with a new head coach and want to stay here? But I do think because of Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and Jack Sawyer behind him, I would absolutely listen to offers for TJ.
Unless a coach comes in who is, married to a 4-3. Although, you know what, nowadays, the way defenses are played, it's like how often are you in your base defense anyway? So I don't know how that argument holds. Another guy, well, actually, there's a few others that would be kind of in the same boat. Jalen Ramsey is one who, to me, he seems like a useful piece in the secondary. I know he's on the books for a decent amount of money, and yet it seems to me he's a decent. I think he's a valuable piece still. I would keep him. What about you?
I would trade him for the novelty if he would then tie the NFL record for player to be traded the most, Jim. I would want to do him that distinction if I could. Brandon Cooks, I think, is the current leader. But Ramsey, that would be his 4th career trade. Jacksonville traded him to the Rams, who traded him to the Dolphins, who traded him to the Steelers. I say keep the trade chain going for Ramsey.
What do you think they'd be able to get in return, though?
No, I don't know. I'm saying that.
You're saying that just to be funny.
I have no idea what he would be worth, but I just like the idea of it. He's been. This is his 4th team, and he has never been a free agent. How wild is that?
It is wild. How about Patrick Queen, who I thought played really well this season? Ray says cut him.
Yeah, and I think Ray's point on that is because his salary cap is his hits going way up, but I would probably lean toward keeping Queen. He is still a really young 7th-year veteran or whatever he is because he entered the league, I believe, at 20 years old out of LSU. So I would – only they kind of know what their stock is on Peyton Wilson and that kind of thing, but I don't know that I've seen enough from him quite yet to let Queen go. I actually, if I'm playing makeshift GM and head coach in one fell swoop, which is kind of what the Steelers head coach generally gets to do over time, I might want to try Queen and Wilson out there as a full-time duo and hope Wilson takes that next step and see what you got.
All right, Ray says Freiermuth keep. John Smith, he said, was the easiest decision there is. So we'll just kind of skip over that. And since you brought him up, Trey Flowers.
Yeah, I think you have to let him walk, Jim.
I think you do too. He says to let Sayamalu go, which I understand based on age and availability. Do you think, and before we let you go, Brian Batko with a PG, what do we make of Dylan Cooks, by the way? Because all of a sudden, Dylan Cook, he's been more than a serviceable left tackle. He seems like he's the new Al Villanueva.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Bring Dylan Cook back. See what he gives you in training camp. Broderick Jones, assuming he's still on the roster, which he will be even if they decline the option, let those two dogs for one bone go at it. Yeah. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it with Cook. You might have fallen into something there at the end of this season.
All right, Brian, thank you very much for the time. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, anytime, Jim. See you.
All right, bye. Great Brian Batko with the PG. Just before we go on, we'll get to fan weather here. And thanks to Brian. Thanks to everybody else for hanging out here. We got Pirate Fest coming up next. Now, I saw they have the signs up, right? The LED signs, like if you get on, even getting onto Route 28, there's one that says, like, no commercial vehicles after midnight. Okay, so I get that, but there's like Tier 4 restrictions. And it lists a bunch of things like commercial vehicles, buses, which is a commercial vehicle, RVs. And then here's one, Joe, motorcycles. There's like no motorcycles after midnight. Who in their right mind would even be out there on a motorcycle even now where there's no precipitation? But so if you're thinking about taking your motorcycle out at 3 a.m., well, keep it off of Route 28 and the Turnpike, apparently. All right, so that's it. So thanks for hanging out this morning. I guess I'm back again next week, next Saturday from 9 to 11:30. We got Pirate Fest. We got Pitt basketball. We got all sorts of stuff coming up today here on 93.7 The Fan. In the meantime, fan weather is brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. As you may have heard, it's going to snow starting tonight, overnight, into Monday. 8 to 12 inches are expected. Do be careful out there.
Don't miss the Panthers Insider Show every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 with Pat Bostic. The best insight with the top guests and everything you need to know about Pitt. The Panther Insider Show is brought to you by Voss TV and Appliance. And it says live, Joe Ball GMC and PGT Trucking. Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan. Your hometown building partner since 1956. 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
Must finance HMF low APR tier 1 through 2. Plus tax, acquisition fee, title, plates, and dealer dock fee. Must finance HMF dealer's choice for Santa Fe rebate. Not all buyers will qualify in stock units only. Offers end 1/2/26.
Shift into the new year with a new Hyundai from Mike Camlin Hyundai. Drive the new 2026 Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe Hybrid. Both available with 0.99% financing for up to 60 months. Or receive up to $1,500 in rebates.
MikeCamlinHyundai.com.
All Mike Camlin Hyundais are backed by owner assurance. America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and the Mike Camlin Advantage. Oil changes for life.
Hi, I'm Julie Bologna, and I used to bring you the weather forecast to help your family navigate your day. Now I want to help you with the forecast to navigate your life as we age. At Julie & Gray Associates, they have helped thousands of families prepare for the future. Their certified elder law attorneys can help you with important life decisions involving long-term care, asset protection, tax planning, and avoiding probate. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Start the new year in a brand new ride. South Hills Kia is kicking off January with incredible lease deals. Drive home a 2025 Kia Sorento S all-wheel drive. Only $299 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Or choose the 2025 Kia Seltos LX all-wheel drive. Just $205 a month for 24 months with $34.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. Lease offers exclude taxes and fees. No security deposit required. Hurry. These January lease offers end February 2nd, 2026. Visit southhillskia.net and start the new year behind the wheel of a brand new Kia.
Pellman Electric in Greensburg is a full-service electrical contractor serving all of Western PA. Pellman specialized in new homes, renovations, service upgrades, energy and efficient homes, hot tub, pools, landscape lighting. Call Pellman Electric 724-838-7150 for any electrical needs.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey sports station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
A frigid Saturday ahead with high temperatures in the teens and feeling below zero. A winter storm warning starts tonight around 7 o'clock and goes all the way through Monday morning with 10 to 15 inches of snow possible across the region. Wind gusts will be up to 30 miles per hour with highs in the low 20s and lows in the teens with wind chill values still below zero. I'm meteorologist Mary Hours in the KDK First Alert Weather Center.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
All right, Joel Nelson for Fan Headlines. Pitt basketball this afternoon is back in action. They'll take on NC State at noon from the Peterson Event Center, and it's right here on The Fan with coverage beginning at 11:30. More headlines, 93.7thefan.com right now, live from Pirates Fest. It's Dan Zangrilli.
We're here so you don't miss a thing.
I'm turning it up.
Live and local on the weekends. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
5 degrees with a low of 1. We might get to 15 this afternoon, but we're thinking warm thoughts on a Saturday morning across Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Good morning, everybody. Live from the David Lawrence Convention Center. It's Pirates Fest 2026. We'll be with you until 11:30. That's when we send it over to the Panthers Radio Network for Pitt's big game against NC State. Then we'll return a little bit later on this afternoon and take you up until 5 o'clock for Pirates Fest. We're here at the Convention Center. It is a free event open to the public. You could download your e-ticket and join us for what is already shaping up to be a great morning. It'll turn into a great afternoon with a number of Pirates players here, plenty of activities for the kids, and again, it is all free. We had a great VIP event last night. Talked to Pirates manager Don Kelly, who told us that he expects the Pirates to be a competitive and even playoff caliber team in 2026 because of a flurry of moves that the Pirates made this offseason to support one of the better pitching staffs in baseball. And one of the guys that is going to be right in the thick of things is our first guest. Coming up a little bit later on, we'll be joined by Isaac Mattson. We'll hear from Pirates broadcaster Joe Block. Nick York will join us coming up a little bit later on in the afternoon session. But we begin things with the big tree. Jared Triolo is with us here. Give it up for Jared. What do you say? All right, Jared, what's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. Thinking warm thoughts here on a 5-degree day. Houston guy, are you used to 5-degree temperatures?
I'm absolutely not. Walked off the airplane, in a sleeveless shirt. So that was a warm welcome back.
Yeah. Well, what can you say about Pirates fans overall? I mean, you talk about warm welcomes. They've really kind of taken to you, I think, because of the way that you go about your business. Obviously, you've had a nice career so far with a Gold Glove on your shelf. You've worn a number of different gloves and have really proven that you'll do anything at any time to help this team in any way.
Yeah, it's been great. Hearing fans, yelling "Big Tree" and all that stuff is awesome. So just getting to see them out here for this weekend is really special for me.
So describe your 2025 season. How did you see it? You experienced it. Describe it for us.
It had its ups and downs, especially personally. I went down to AAA for a little bit and came back up and, kind of did more of what I expected myself to do. And, as a team, we also started winning a little bit of games towards the end there. But, yeah, we're all really excited for 2026. Looking forward to it.
And I want to talk about especially the end of 2025 for you, because you went down to AAA for a bit and you made some adjustments. And you were called in August. Your slash line the rest of the way. Slash line basically batting average, on-base slug, right? was 276, 353, 422. You hit 4 home runs, pretty decent chunk. That's a 216 plate appearance sample size. So it's not a month, it's a lot more than that. 216 is a pretty good sample. You had made an adjustment with your hands. Let's talk about going down to AAA, the adjustment, what you did, why you did it, what you intended to accomplish.
Yeah, I think just kind of some of the adjustments I'd made that prior offseason, I realized, were not very beneficial to my swing. So I kind of got back to, what I did in the minor leagues coming up, and I was just picking my hands up a little bit higher. And I think it helps me stay more on plane with pitches, and, it kind of showed itself towards the end there.
Who identified that with you?
A lot of the coaches. I was working with Johnny Tucker and Haig, of course, and then went down, and they were like, "Well, your hands used to be way up here too." So I mean, it was kind of a group effort.
How and why did they drop or get lowered? Was that something that you consciously did, or did that just sort of organically happen and they went on a deep dive with you? They found it on film and they said, here's what we see.
Yeah, well, without getting too much into the weeds. Kind of lowering the hands helped me, level out my bat path a little bit. But I think, that was the thought anyways. But I think, raising them back up kind of definitely helped me be more on plane.
Is that an efficiency thing to kind of get to the ball, take a shorter pathway to the ball?
That was the thought process,
okay.
Yeah, that was definitely it.
So that's more of an old school swing, right? The short to it, long through it kind of deal?
Yeah, so I feel like my hands are kind of more unorthodox, a little bit higher, and it works for me. So
interesting. So to kind of bottle that up, right? Because you'll sign for that slash line, 276, 353, 422. I mean, that's with your defense. I mean, that's the sweet spot.
I think that'll play. Yeah,
that'll play, especially in this era. How have you tried to take that? Because I'm sure you didn't want the season to end in many respects. Bottle it up in the off season to try to pick that up when pitchers and catchers report.
Yeah, fortunately, I've had some good drills that were working for me at the end of the year, and it was more than just, field drills. So it was kind of getting back to, those drills and sticking with them, through the off season.
With that swing, are you able to backspin the baseball a little bit better, you think?
That's the objective, yes.
Yeah, no doubt. And just you obviously have the ability to stretch and hit the ball out of the ballpark. You're a strong guy, but, gap power plays too.
Yeah, gap to gap. That's kind of my mantra, is just left center, right center.
You're looking a little bigger. You hitting the weight room, or what's going on? You eating your Wheaties?
Yeah, Wheaties and weight room. I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
So objective there, just to get stronger.
Yeah, I think most fans don't know how much weight you lose over the course of 162 games. Sure. So I think, the end of the season, you're at your lowest weight, and then you try to come back in a little heavier than where you want to be. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Describe the grind of what a season is and how you've learned to adapt to that. Because we were talking with Jake Mangum yesterday, and we often hear, especially the last, let's say, 4 or 5 years, gap from AAA to the big leagues, that jump continues to widen, more so than it was in past years. So I asked him, what's your theory on that? And he said, the adjustment to the grind of the big leagues is more substantial, and that's because there's more off days in AAA. He cited the 6-game series, which I never really thought of. That's something that they implemented around COVID, where you post up to play basically an entire week against one team, which, if you think about it, I don't know if it has really the benefits from a development perspective that people are hoping to achieve. And then you get to the big leagues, and it's like, that's a huge adjustment. So question is, how do you adjust going from AAA to the big leagues in this era, and how do you maintain physically, mentally, the rigors of 162?
Yeah, like you said, like the 6-game series in AAA is extremely beneficial for hitters. You're seeing the same bullpen arms for 6 straight days, and that has its own challenges. But coming up to the big leagues,
it's not that way.
It is not the same way, no, exactly. But it's just taking it one day at a time, I think, is what you have to get back to, and focusing on that day rather than the whole week.
Jared Triolo, Pirates third baseman, shortstop, second baseman, first baseman is our guest. Any idea as to if that'll be narrowed down at all as we sit here? Or do you find yourself bringing every glove in your bag to the ballpark?
I will still have every glove in my bag. Just taking a lot of reps at third and short, and keeping up with second and first, and even the outfield this offseason. Just so I'm available. So
let's talk. Obviously, you can play the infield as basically well as anybody in the game. Your Gold Glove that you have on your shelf proves that. But let's talk a little outfield here, because this is very much a left-handed heavy lineup. And as Don Kelly is going to probably arrange the deck chairs, he's going to need you, especially against left-handed pitching, variety of different places. Which corner outside of PNC Park, let's say we're on the road, right? Which corner do you feel more comfortable? Which ball off bat, fly ball do you feel that you read better?
That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever played left, so I would say center and right are probably where I would be most comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Center. Well, you're deceptively fast for as big a guy as you are. I mean, you run obviously very, very well.
Sneaky speed.
Sneaky speed. But that's real. Like, you're not just like a big dude that thinks he's fast. You actually are fast. Because as you know, there's so many people that think that they can like grab bases, but you can. Like left, center. I mean, how much work have you had? I haven't pulled it up. Have we thrown you in left field at all? I don't think so.
No, I don't think I've been out there before.
Have you shagged at all, or even like just gone out there to kind of screw around?
Yeah, last season I was out all three outfield spots in BP. So I mean, I felt it in PNC. So,
I was going to say, thoughts on it, and like, have you envisioned a game scenario where you've got some ground to cover there?
Yeah. Thoughts are is it's pretty big.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think, taking enough reps there in BP and in practice, I could be ready.
What's the biggest challenge, left field PNC? Is it the notch, the gap, going to your left?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. How so? Just the first step, or just knowing how much, like, take me into that, the challenges for an outfielder? Because we hear about it. It's a bear. Why?
Yeah. I think just, the way that it's angled, and the angle that you have to take, and communication with the center fielder and all that sort of stuff. I mean, so many things go into it, but just kind of a unique, special thing that PNC Park has.
Jared Triolo with us, Pirates Fest 2026, David Lawrence Convention Center. At it until 5 o'clock. Free event, open to the public. Go to pirates.com, download your tickets. Jared Triolo, August, great numbers since his recall, 276, 4 home runs, rest of the way. How much did that mean from a psychological perspective, that finish that you had, to basically show that, you know what, I can do this?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Just contributing, on the offensive side of the ball is kind of important, I'd say. So, tons of confidence going into next season.
You met some of your new teammates, Jake Mangum in particular. He goes about his game differently than others. He has to do it, bat to ball, run out infield hits, steal bases, play great defense. There's some similarities in your all's game. What do you think of his addition, his game, that sort of, we'll call it like kind of a blue-collar Pittsburgh mentality?
Yeah, I just met him officially for the first time this weekend, but he seems like a great guy. Like you said, the blue-collar thing, I think, is going to be his niche with the team, and, hustling and doing all that sort of stuff is definitely beneficial to this game and our team.
What's been on your checklist this offseason? Have you accomplished some of the things that you set out to do? What still is remaining for you to do before you head to Bradenton?
Yeah, pretty much just doing, maintenance stuff right now. Everything strength-wise and speed-wise and swing-wise is feeling good. So just maintenance and, trying to get to spring training healthy and ready to go.
What area of your game do you want to see improve most?
Consistency with the bat, I think, is the pretty obvious answer. Definitely want to be in the lineup consistently and swinging it well.
Jared, appreciate it, man. Great end to 2025 for you. Looking forward to you being a big part of 2026. I think there's a lot of optimism surrounding the team here for first time really in a long while.
Yeah. I appreciate it. We're definitely excited.
All right, Jared Triolo. Big Tree, Pirates infielder, outfielder, a little bit of everything here. Joining us here at Pirates Fest 2026. Coming up next, we'll chat with Pirates broadcaster Joe Block on this warm, not so warm, very chilly Saturday morning on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Get the latest on Pittsburgh sports from anywhere with the Odyssey app. Listen to shows and Pirate games live. Check out our exclusive interviews and content anytime. Download the Odyssey app now and never miss a minute. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
12 o'clock this afternoon, Pitt basketball back in action. They're going to take on NC State at the Peterson Event Center. That game right here on The Fan with coverage starting at 11:30. More headlines at 937thefan.com. Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
We're going to be so late for the concert at Point State Park. We should be there by now.
I just need to stop for gas real quick. I know a cheap place down Liberty Avenue.
Are you serious? We're going to miss the show because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is great. It's a free app that gets you cash back when you buy gas.
Wait, you mean I can get money back just for buying gas?
Yup, and it really works. I've actually made around $200 this year already. Now pull over so you can download Upside before we miss the concert.
Pulling over. You had me at $200.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you buy gas in the Steel City. Use promo code PIT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. Get the Upside app and use promo code PIT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PIT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Baker's Waterproofing is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's Andrew Filipponi for the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 93.7 The Fan, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel is turning on playoff mode, and all customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. So each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. I can't wait for the NFC Championship game. NFC West battle between the Seahawks and Rams Part 3. What a classic they played in Seattle for the 1 seed a few weeks back, and I like the Seahawks again to reign supreme. The Rams have looked shaky. Now they're about to take on the most dominant team in the NFC. Give me Seattle to make it back to the big game. Visit FanDuel.com/Andrew and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus in President, Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is now. Drawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration to max wager amount. See terms. Sportsbook.FanDuel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
As a detective, I've solved many mysteries, but this one has me stumped.
Why does NJM Insurance remain silent in a world full of catchy jingles?
What are they up to? It's suspicious.
Yet their policyholders all agree.
NJM is amazing. When things go wrong, they do what's right.
But is the world ready for an ad break that's jingle-free? Tune in to Baffling Mysteries, where the story of the missing jingle unfolds.
This fictional podcast is brought to you by NJM. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
84 Lumber has partnered with Anderson Windows and Doors to bring a brand new showroom to Mount Lebanon. From homeowners to industry pros, everyone can see, touch, and interact with various series of Anderson windows and a wide variety of doors to make the most informed decision for their build. 84 Lumber experts are on site to demonstrate product features, answer your questions, and even schedule a visit to the job site for measuring and installation. Your budget matters, and flexible financing options are available. Call today to schedule a personal consultation at 570-507-8015.
Hey, it's Pony back to tell you guys about Xfinity. When Team USA is on, you can almost see the moment a kid starts believing they could be next. Now, while Xfinity can't guarantee that, they can guarantee something just as important, that your internet price won't change for 5 years. That's right, no contracts or commitments. So while your kid is ordering gear online, streaming highlight reels, or video chatting with coaches, your Xfinity internet price won't budge. college. And who knows, by the time the next Olympic Winter Games roll around, your kid could be getting fitted for their very own Team USA uniform. That would be wild. And guess what? You'll still be paying the same price for reliable Wi-Fi. And there's even more to enjoy with the Xfinity Gold Medal celebration now through February 22nd. Get your best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 a month value. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary. To get started, call visitxfinity.com or drop into an Xfinity store today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Paramount Plus is the new home of UFC, and we're coming out swinging with UFC 324.
Oh, what a shot!
And 325 on back-to-back weekends. The new era is here. Every fight. Bam! One subscription.
Oh my goodness!
Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Back-to-back blockbuster UFC events this month only on Paramount Plus.
At Buckos Roofing, we're on top of it. Whether it's siding, roofing, windows, gutters, or insurance claims, you can count on Buckos for quality customer service. Find us online and get a free quote today.
It's Pittsburgh's #1 roofing company.
Buckos Roofing.
Live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills.
Pirates Fest 2026. Thanks for joining us Saturday morning at the David Lawrence Convention Center here until 5 o'clock. We'll take a bit of an intermission coming up at 11:30. We'll cede to the Panthers Radio Network for Pitt basketball today against NC State, of which our next guest has a very vested interest in their success against the Wolfpack. And it is a Panther flamethrower. One of the great success stories coming out of the Pitt baseball program, and somebody who burst onto the scene, found himself as a high-leverage reliever last year, coming out of the Pirates bullpen. Isaac Mattson is with us here, taken to the microphone. What's going on, man? How are you?
Good. I appreciate you guys having me on. First and foremost, hail to Pitt. Best of luck to the basketball program today, getting after it.
Let's go.
Excited for it.
Yeah, they've got their quarterback returning, so that's kind of sewn up. So
yep, talented.
Yeah, no doubt. So you follow closely still, it sounds like.
I try to. Yeah, I try to. Between being a dad, training for the season, I love tuning into anything Pitt athletics.
I like it. 11-month-old, huh?
Oh yeah. He's up. He's walking. Not running yet, but it'll happen soon.
I like it when you're putting a baseball in his hands.
We already have.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we keep it to the soft plush ones.
Yeah, of course.
The hard ones, tend to be a little bit easier to shatter a window. But yeah, he's throwing things, mostly his food to the dog. But we got a baseball in his hand every now and then.
Flat ground work right now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
mostly
not on a slope just yet.
Big balance, trying to get him to at least be able to stand firmly. But yeah, he's getting confident. It's been fun to watch.
18 months weighted ball activity, right?
We'll hold off on curveballs, till 18 months weighted balls. But yeah, we got the program written out. My wife and I have 10-step plan ready to roll.
That's good. Edutronic camera for Christmas?
Maybe another, few years in the big leagues before we splurge.
I was going to say, yeah, get all the biomechanic data by the time he hits preschool, right? Because that's where the game is headed.
Exactly, yeah. No, get recruiting going. But no, it's tons of fun. This offseason has been a blast for my family and I, and I'm excited to get back on the baseball field.
By the way, do you dive into a lot of that stuff? I mean, there's such a rabbit hole that you can go down when you get into a pitching lab, and is that something that A, you do, B, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely a tool that can be used. I'm a bit of a nerd in a good way. But yeah, I love diving into the numbers and being able to figure out how to get better in certain ways. And I think the biggest thing for me has just been learning to simplify things, be able to figure out, okay, what are these numbers saying, but more so, how can I improve on the things that I've been working on?
So you dive into it, you can go down a rabbit hole, and it can kind of consume you. So how do you strike that balance of being a guy that really loves all the tools, the tech, the data that can help you? And who knows, did it save your career, number one? And then secondly, once you're kind of in it, how do you not get immersed and then paralyzed by it?
Yeah, I think understanding yourself is the biggest tool to being successful at high levels. And so for me, just being able to understand the things I do well, the things that I need to work on, and have a plan in place for moving forward. But I think in terms of simplifying, keeping things, usable. It's cool to have all these numbers and things you can dive into, but if you can't use it on a daily basis or add it to your training, it becomes a little bit less effective. So that's what I always try to focus on. How can I simplify, and then what can I actually take from this to use and progress throughout the course of a certain phase of training?
The crossroads in your career was when, and how did you, for lack of a better term, save it? Because there's not many Washington Wild Thing to Pittsburgh Pirates stories out there.
Yeah. I know there's a few big leaguers, Bivens being one of them from Washington that's out there, I think with San Francisco now. But there's not many of us that have been able to kind of work their way back to affiliated ball and then eventually the big leagues. So I definitely consider myself blessed. And I think the turning point for me was, honestly, it was the Wild Things. Talking with my wife after getting released and trying to figure out what we wanted to do as a family, and the things that came to mind just through praying about it, through talking with each other about it, was just, baseball is something that I still felt like I could do at a high level, and there were just some things that I had lost. And when I got to Wild Things, rediscovered the love of the game. And I'll take away all the bells and whistles, take away, at times, the packed stadiums, Washington, great fan base, but it's different than affiliated baseball, and so being able to strip away everything and just focus on the game again and make it fun. That group of guys that I was able to play with in Washington, Tom, our manager, and the front office there, like that freed me up after going through a really hard phase of my life, and it just got me back to, okay, like I love to compete, I love to play this game of baseball. It's hard, it's challenging, it teaches you how to deal with failure, but at the end of the day, it is so much fun to play and compete with your friends.
We're talking with Pirates reliever Isaac Mattson, who was a non-roster invitee to spring training last year, began the year with Indianapolis. Then he went 2-0 with 4 saves at .257 and 19 relief appearances. The whip was in a perfect shape, really. Batting average against was pristine, and then it makes his way to Pittsburgh. So that's wild. I mean, no pun intended. I kind of walked into that one, that it's with the Wild Things. And it sounds like without your faith, right, you're not sitting here talking to me after a really good big league campaign. I mean, that seems pretty apparent.
Yeah. My faith is a huge piece of that. People tell me, oh man, you had a great 2025. What a cool story. And I always tell them, and I truly believe this, like it's not as much my story as it is God's story that he's telling, and being able to be a part of that for me is just a blessing. And so I just want to continue to use the gifts that he's blessed me with, and do my best to go out, have fun doing it, but really glorify him in the midst of it.
Because it's amazing, if you think about it, you have that moment where you're with your wife, you have to decide, do I go work for, I have no idea what the paycheck was, $600, $700 a month, $1,200 a month, because you could just say, let's move on with it. But you sat on it, you prayed on it, you decided, all right, one more shot, and then obviously the rest is, as they say, is history. It's amazing how you can take a right turn or a left turn, and one way is going to lead you down one path, another is going to lead you down another. Those are wild things in life.
Yeah, no, they
I did it
absolutely
again.
are.
I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
Jeez,
That's
oh,
okay.
man.
It's just strike 2, 3 strikes. No,
I know,
I'm just kidding.
0-2.
But no, it's to your point about the financial side of it, the freeing up. I know a lot of those guys in indie ball, they're not. I mean, none of us are playing indie ball for the money. Like
Right.
they're playing for an opportunity to do something they love, to have an experience, to grow as human beings. And that was another huge piece of it. I mean, I knew that everybody in that clubhouse was focused on winning baseball games because they loved the game of baseball. And not that guys love it any less when they start getting paid, but when you strip away a lot of the things that affiliated baseball has, it frees you up to be able to just go out and enjoy the game.
Isaac Matson, Pirates reliever, is with us. Okay, so now you make it over to the Pirates organization. You work your way up through the chain of the system, and then essentially, you know, you're an older rookie, late 20s into now your early 30s, and then just things start to click. How and why? Let's get into the baseball side of it. How you were able to dive into data. How you were able to, after rediscovering your love for the game, get to a place where you can be a really impactful, high leverage back into the bullpen reliever.
Yeah, I think it goes back to, for me, just understanding my strengths and what I do really well.
Which are what?
I mean, I don't know if it's a secret anymore. The heater is the heater.
Yeah, elevated fastballs.
Yeah. Elevated fastballs at the top of the zone. We're gonna work on. I've been working on that this whole offseason on changing the narrative a little bit, becoming more dynamic as a reliever, and working on especially the secondary offerings. But that was what I kind of came to the Pirates with, and I felt like they were on board. Their philosophy that in 2024 we all had player plans, and I know they still do those with the minor leaguers, is, what are your strengths? Let's do that a lot. And so being able to simplify it down to that and just be able to go out and attack. There were still things that I needed to work on, specifically in 24. I know when I got to AAA, it was the command piece. We were doing ABS and the challenge system, where it was like, if it's in the zone, it's a strike, and if it's not, it's a ball. And so that first month or so was an adjustment period in AAA in 24. Just being able to get back to, okay, let's attack through the zone. And the pitching coaches, Bayo and Bennis down there, did a phenomenal job of supporting me and the mission that I had to get back to the big leagues. And that was another big step for me in 24, to just be able to know, okay, these are the pitches I throw. I can execute them in zone, and that was kind of the big stepping stone into the end of 24, and then going into 25.
Were you ever afraid of the barrel at any point in your career? Because some pitchers are, and I hate to say or ask a professional athlete to admit they're scared of something, and that's not necessarily what I'm suggesting here, but strategically you try to avoid the barrel, miss barrels, that can get you into trouble, where somebody like yourself that has some sublime stuff, you can live there. I mean, was that at any point an obstacle for you to kind of overcome and get through, to be able to be free and easy and live in the zone without fear?
Yeah. I think the hardest piece of everything in 22 for me was the velo was down, and I think when my velocity went down, it was like, okay, how can I execute on the edges?
Right. And
when you try to do that, when you try to get cute with off speed, instead of just saying, you know what, here's my best stuff, try and hit it, that's when you get into trouble. And that's ultimately, a piece of what happened in 22, and took the lesson from that and learned from it. And so that's when I feel like I have not necessarily been afraid of the barrel, but I felt like I've needed to execute to certain spots a little bit more, rather than just say, all right, that's the strike zone. We got 17 inches across. Just throw it over the white and see what happens.
Chances, yeah.
Yeah, let baseball happen.
It's amazing, right? We see guys out there that they can have 1, 2, 3 innings throwing 55 miles an hour in mop-up duty, right? You throw batting practice fastballs, and guys will miss hit. It's round bat, round ball at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah, those position players, talented human beings to go out there and just mop up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Got to have courage.
Absolutely.
Isaac Mattson is with us. All right, well documented the success in 2025. You just mentioned, gave us a little hint. 2026, you become more dynamic. How? Secondary offerings?
Yeah. I feel like my slider, to both handed batters was an effective weapon. And it's not that I was afraid to go to it. It was more, all right, here's what I do well. And if the game is telling us that we can execute with 80% heaters, let's execute with 80% heaters. I felt like toward the end of 25, there were some things, especially against left-handed hitters, being able to execute change-ups a little bit more effectively is going to be a big piece for me. So that's been the work this offseason. Work on the shape of the changeup, work on the execution of the changeup, and just give me a little bit more dynamic ability versus those lefties, especially when it comes into high leverage. Those are situations that you don't get to pick the guys you face. You got the eighth inning, here's your window.
Yeah.
I love that challenge. I love the fact that this offseason has been, an opportunity for me to dive into that and figure out what we do well. And I'm excited to have Bill Murphy with us on the pitching side. And that whole staff, as far as that goes, the communication and the knowledge that they bring to the field and have brought to the conversations that I've had, I'm excited to get on location down there in Bradenton and continue to work with those guys.
Any illuminating moments in conversations with your new pitching coach, Bill Murphy?
Again, he is an intelligent guy with a lot of wisdom when it comes to pitching, and so I will give him so many kudos. The conversations that we've had, he isn't just telling you, hey, this is what you've done. He's telling you the why, he's telling you the how, and so we've put together a plan, and like I said, just excited to get down to Bradenton, continue the work that I've put in this offseason, and see how things play out in 26.
You mentioned your changeup. Any other offerings? Slider to both hands? Mm-hmm. Well, not both hands, but glove side, arm side, pretty much. I haven't looked at the heat maps, but are you heavy glove side versus arm side? Or, I mean, I know you're up in the zone primarily, but a lot of relievers, they sort of gravitate one way. Right-handers almost more glove side, right?
Typically, yeah, especially as a reliever. You don't want to get hurt leaving things over the plate. So if you're throwing sliders, sliders to righties are going to be primarily away, but I love a good right-on-right changeup. I threw Judge one last spring training. I don't know if it was for the strikeout, but those are the pitches that you hear in the pitch comm when Hank or Bart sends it to you. You hear it in the pitch comm, and you just try not to smile because all right, this is going to be a fun pitch to see what happens.
Yeah.
And
living on the edge.
Yeah. I mean, it's
adrenaline rush.
Just execute, and when it plays out well, you smile, you fist pump, and you're happy to do what you love doing out there playing baseball.
Well, Isaac, looking forward to 2026. It was great to see you out there competing. You morph into not the very nice guy that you are here, affable human being. Love to see that switch flip and you turn into something else out there, which is cool.
I think this whole team, 2026, we're going to continue to flip switches. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I love it. Thanks so much, man. Isaac Mattson, there he goes, former Pitt Panther. He's saying hail to Pitt today. In less than an hour, we'll send you over to NC State coverage for that big ACC matchup against the Wolfpack. Until then, we're here at Pirates Fest 2026. Directly ahead, Joe Block, Pirates broadcaster, will stop by. We invite you to stay tuned. Coverage continues. I'm Dan Zangrilli on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Y108 presents Odyssey, The Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean.
Hey, what's up, Pittsburgh? I'm Jason Aldean.
Wednesday, April 22nd, inside the Event Center at Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. You can't buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Details at y108.com. Brought to you by Broken Bow Records. Must be 21 plus.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Tomorrow is NFL Championship Sunday. Patriots take on the Broncos at 3 o'clock, and that's followed by the Rams taking on the Seahawks at 6:30. And both those games right here on 93.7 The Fan, your home for the NFL on Westwood One. Coverage will begin at 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and both games available to stream on the free Odyssey app as well. More headlines at 937thefan.com. Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan gets your day started with the latest in Pittsburgh sports with the Fan Morning Show with Doran Dickerson and Adam Crowley. Weekdays 5:40 to 10. Presented by Guardian Protection on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Ring in the new year with a little magic from Spitzer Toyota Monroeville. Want a lifetime warranty and complimentary maintenance? Want rewards and an easy-to-use Spitzer VIP app? Granted. Want to lease a new 2026 Toyota Corolla LE from $165 a month? Granted. Hurry in and grant your New Year's wishes today. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Toyota Monroeville.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
TSRP 25,082 VIN 5YFB4 MDE 5TP 390565 39 months 4,099 due at signing through GMS with approved credit. Does not include title tax, license, registration, accessories, and dealer fees. $477 doc fee. 0 security deposit. 10K miles per year. See dealer for details. Ends 2/2/2026.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cash back app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BLING to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BLING for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BLING for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
NFL playoffs? Let's go. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every moment feel bigger. In the postseason, the game shifts fast. And with DraftKings live betting options, you can stay right in the moment. Plus, DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. With DraftKings, you're covered through the entire half. Why bet player props anywhere else? New customers, here's your shot. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THEFAN. That's code THEFAN to turn $5 into 300 bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Doran Dickerson here. Not sure whether it's busted or salvageable. Call PJ Fitzpatrick to diagnose and fix your home repair problems. PJ will come to your home with a complete shop on their truck, and they fix it all in the same day. Freezing, drafty windows, overflowing gutters, rotted trim, and leaky roofs. This is the time to call the home repair experts at PJ Fitzpatrick. No job too big or too small. Visit trustpj.com. With over 45 years of experience, they'll fix it right the first time. Visit trustpj.com and stay off the ladders.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan's Fan About Town. If you're over 60 and looking for a weight loss program built specifically for you, Awaken 180 is your solution with Awaken 180 Golden, a new 1 to 3 month program for fast weight loss tailored to those over 60. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Schley Deck and Fence Company. Call today for an estimate on your rotten, rusted, paint shipping railings. Get your railings safe again by spring. Call 412-515-6575. Schley Deck and Fence. SchleyDeckCompany.com. Looking for an incredible Pittsburgh fresh-made hoagie? Visit Tim's Corner Market in Beachview. Fresh house-made bread stacked high with the finest meats and premium toppings and packed with Pittsburgh flavor. The hoagie you didn't know you needed at Tim's Corner Market on Broadway Avenue in Beachview. For more information, visit 937thefan.com. Ready for action, basketball fans? BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, is giving players another reason to hit the court this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to every basket, every slam dunk, and every buzzer-beating shot with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and same-game parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like dark mode, too. Log in to BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, all throughout the basketball season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Pennsylvania only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paramount Plus is the new home of UFC, and we're coming out swinging with UFC 324.
Oh, what a shot!
And 325 on back-to-back weekends. The new era is here.
It's time!
Every fight.
Bam!
One subscription.
Oh my goodness!
Pay-per-view just got knocked out.
Let's go.
Back-to-back blockbuster UFC events this month only on Paramount Plus.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two, get two free offer.
I'm Walter Naylor, owner of a quick drain service. Since 1969, we've been going down the drain so you don't have to. We specialize in older home plumbing repairs and service. Trust us to get the job done right. Call 724-222-1095. Ask us about senior military and first responder discounts. License number PA074216. We serve the tri-state area with DOT-certified gas, water, and sewer line installations while offering a lifetime guarantee. AQuickDrain.com.
We're talking all things Pittsburgh sports all weekend.
You're doing it all weekend, too?
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
And we're thinking warm thoughts on a blustery Saturday morning, turning afternoon before too long. It's 7 degrees right now, a low of 1, real feel of -6. Snow totals tonight into tomorrow, 8 to 12 inches. That is your weather forecast, brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. From the Convention Center, Dan Zangrili here talking Buccos with you at Pirates Fest. Free event, open to the public. It'll wrap up at 5 p.m. Go to pirates.com, download your e-ticket, and join us. A lot of folks here milling about. Special thanks to Isaac Matson for joining us last segment, and we'll have all of our interviews, of course, on the Odyssey app. You can use the free rewind feature. Some of them will be posted to our fan Twitter account, brought to you by South Hills Kia, Peters Township. Visit them, southhillskia.net. Joined now by Nick York, came over last year from the Boston Red Sox in the Quinn Priester trade and was able to get up to the big leagues not only last year, but later in the year this year, and looking for a breakout. And man, you're still just what? Have you turned 24 yet?
Not yet. Still 23.
23. Still a pup, man. Been around a while for 23 years old, you know what I mean? And that's a good thing, right? That you've been in the upper levels of the minor leagues. You've had some opportunities here in the big leagues, and you've been able to kind of drink it all in and mold your game and have a few off seasons to hopefully this year have that breakout.
Yeah, that's the goal. You know, like you said, I've been in the upper minors for a long time, and you know, I'm ready to perform at the big league level and help the team win.
Yeah, and you definitely kicked the door down. It was a largely productive year for you. Walk me through 2025, what you think you accomplished, and of course it culminated and ended in the big leagues.
Yeah, no, I thought I got off to a pretty hot start in the season. Kind of got a little bit of an injury there, and slowed down a little bit, but you know, once I got back into the groove of playing every day and you know, being around the guys in the dugout and working out every day with them, you know, slowly got better and better and was able to get back up here at the end of the year.
Yeah, you finished AAA 337. You had 8 doubles, drove in 15. You had a 382 OBP the final 25 or so games in the month of August, and then recalled on September 1st, and put together some really nice stretches there. 5 straight games. You had a nice 7 of 18 stretch, and you bounced around. Of course, wore a few different gloves, and I would imagine that's going to be much of the same in 2026. The versatility that really Pirates, but all teams seem to like.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever I can do to help the team win. If it's giving B-Run a day off and right, or giving someone a day off at second or left or first base, even third base, whatever you need. I just want to help the team win and get this city back to a playoff.
Nick York with us. Where do you feel most comfortable?
I probably played the most second base coming up through the minors in my professional career, so probably there, but I feel pretty comfortable anywhere.
So this offseason, you go in with a checklist, some of the items in your exit interview, if you can share those. What were they? What did you try to lay out for yourself in the offseason, and did you accomplish it?
Yeah, I pride myself on being a complete ball player, low strikeout rate, walks, get on base, hit for a little bit of power, steal some bags. So I've just been working on everything. The main thing that they wanted me to work on, my exit velos were really good last year, and they want me to work on, bat path, ball flight, just getting the ball in the air, like splitting gaps a little bit more rather than on the ground. So I've been working hard at that as well. But the off-season's been great. It's been working really hard and getting after it, so I'm excited for this year.
So some of those items how do you do that while accomplishing the bat to ball that you seem to prioritize in low strikeout rate?
Yeah, it's just getting your body in good positions and throughout your swing to be able to naturally hit more line drives or, get on top of baseballs, which is what I did more in the past. So it's just bat path and working on, staying through the ball a little bit better without losing that swing and miss.
Is that still, to take an old school term, is still the short to it, long through it approach, or is that different?
I've always kind of been an old school guy, so I've always tried to have a short, compact swing and prioritize putting the ball in play hard. So I'm just trying to maximize the power output while keeping that.
Okay, yeah, well, that's what Triolo kind of got back to. He got away from it. Obviously, he was in AAA with you when he made the adjustment.
Right.
In August, he raised the hands to just try to get, not to be too elementary here, not to swing down on the ball, but the most efficient path, that short, quick swing that keeps the barrel in the zone longer.
Yeah.
You're doing that, or maybe there's a bit of adjustment away from it. Walk me through that.
Yeah, 100%. At the end of the day, I just pride myself on being a good hitter, tough out. I'll get my toes on the line and give you a 12-pitch at bat. Try to work foul off a bunch of pitches, get the pitcher mad, whatever it has to do. So, first and foremost for me is, I pride myself on being a good hitter. And while trying to maximize the power in terms of what you're doing with your body and your bat path and your swing thoughts. Yeah. And I thought, obviously, Triolo did a great job of that last year when he went to AAA, made some adjustments, came back and banged. So, it's just a constant work in progress for all of us, always just trying to get better.
Not to paint too much with a broad brush here, but is the game and our players largely, and I'm just kind of speaking in generalities here, are they okay, and do they accept swing and miss and the strikeout too much?
No, I don't think so. I rarely see someone that strikes out and is happy about it. So, at the end of the day,
but are they okay with it?
You have to be okay with failure, especially in this game. You have to be able to move on, look at it objectively, and move on, get better. But yeah, I think obviously the swing and miss in the game's a little bit up. Pitching's really good. So, it never hurts to kind of go back to an old school approach of getting short and compact and putting the ball in play hard.
And that's why I asked that, because it's kind of like I'm going to zig when everybody else is zagging. You have a mentality and an approach that seems to be not with what is the modern trend, with what everybody else is chasing, and that's obviously because it pays them well. If there's going to be swing and miss in my game, so what? If I catch more barrels, so be it. Whereas, it's refreshing to hear. I want to go up there and just grind the heck out of a guy. 12 pitches, get inside his head, and do everything in my power to have a battle at bat. That seems like it's harder to find these days. I guess is where I'm going with it.
Yeah, a little bit. I think so. That's the way I grew up playing baseball.
Right.
I'm a California dirtbag. I get my toes on the dirt. I try to leave the field the dirtiest every single game. So, if I have to grind out a bat, try to get it on for O'Neill to drive me in, so be it. That's the goal.
Where did you develop that mentality? Who was instrumental kind of in your formative years to get introduced to the game, fall in love with it, and then, of course, develop the style that you described?
Yeah, I would say my high school coach, Brian Yockey. He wasn't the most talented player, but always found a way to make a team or help contribute. And that was his big thing in high school, was even the best player is going to be able to get down a bunt. Best player is going to be able to get a hit and run over. Be able to grind out in that bat, take your hit by pitches when pitchers coming in on 0-2 counts and stuff like that. And he's always just been that energetic feel for the game for me, where I fell in love with the way that he taught me how to play the game, and that's what I try to go out there and play the Yockey way every day.
Huh, I like it. Yeah. Okay, so there's a name to it.
Oh yeah, he's like my second father. I grew up playing under him, and cool. I love him. So it's great.
Is he still at it?
He's still the high school coach, and I go train with him a couple times a week still, so it's great. Yeah.
That's awesome. Where'd you go to? What's the high school?
Archbishop Mitty High School in San Jose, California.
Okay, anybody else come out of there?
Mitch Haniger came out of there, Chris Bubich. Those are the three big leaguers.
Yeah.
Two big leaguers.
No doubt. He's been at it a while, it sounds like?
He took over in 2016. But yeah, he's been there for 11 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. And all right, the team got better this offseason, right? Meritocracy is going to reign supreme. There are going to be some position battles that are going to be fierce going to spring training. So I know you're going to kind of come in there with a sharp axe, and you're going to take your swings and chop away at it to try to make this team, huh?
100%. I left a bad taste in my mouth not making the team out of camp last year, so I'm just going to do everything I can to go win a job this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Motivated for sure.
Very.
It sounds like. Well, Nick, I know that big part of this organization. You're going to be a Pirate for a long time, and I know they have some pretty high hopes, and they think highly of you from everything that we've heard. So we look forward to you kind of, being a part of this for a long time to come and seeing you contribute in 2026.
Yeah, thank you. Really excited to be here and get going this year.
For sure. There's Nick Yorke, everybody. Pirates outfielder, infielder, and a California dirtbag. His words. That's awesome. And we'll be back in just a moment. We're talking to Joe Block, Pirates Bro. We're eventually going to get JB on here. I promise. We will. On a cold Saturday morning here at the David Lawrence Convention Center. Pirates Fest 2026. Inviting you to stay tuned. I'm Dan Zangrilli on 93.7 The Fan.
Pony and Muller here. Mike and Mike's Beer Bar is a big fan of us. In fact, he gave us our own beer. Okay, well, kind of. Each month, Mike picks a local beer that we call the Fan Beer of the Month. January's Fan Beer of the Month is Penn Brewery's Penn Pilsner, a Vienna lager. And the designated charity is the National Down Syndrome Society.
And if you don't like the Fan Beer of the Month, Mike has 4 other beers on tap that you can select, and he will make a donation to the charity. Check out the Fan Beer of the Month at Mike's Beer Bar.
Meet me at Mike's.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Paramount Plus is the new home of UFC, and we're coming out swinging with UFC 324.
Oh, what a shot!
And 325 on back-to-back weekends. The new era is here. Every fight.
Bam!
One subscription.
Oh my goodness!
Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Back-to-back blockbuster UFC events this month only on Paramount Plus.
Hey, Pittsburgh! America's greatest hot rod tradition is back. The FuelRequired.com World of Wheels, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. January 23rd through the 25th at the David Lawrence Convention Center. See the country's top customs, hot rods, muscle cars, trucks, tuners, and more, including the ISCA Championship finalists. Catch the Dukes of Hazzard reunion with Cars and Stars. See the General Lee, Uncle Jesse's Truck, Cooter's Tow Truck, Daisy's Jeep and Boss Hogs Cadillac. Saturday, meet Catherine Bach and John Schneider. Sunday, meet Lou Graham, the original voice of the rock band Foreigner. The family will love the amazing Megamorph transforming robot car. TheFuelRequired.com World of Wheels, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. This weekend at the David Lawrence Convention Center. Discount tickets available at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See WorldOfWheels.com for more info.
Hey, want to do dinner with us tonight?
I don't know. The kids just left. I think we're just going to stay in tonight.
Oh, come on. Don't miss out again.
Miss out on what?
Catching up with friends. The sounds of winning. Celebrations. Endless laughs. And memories they'll never forget. Don't just hear about the fun. Time moves fast, so go have it. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
Your hometown building partner since 1956. 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
New year, new ride, better value. South Hills Kia is bringing you outstanding January lease deals. Upgrade to a 2025 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive for just $359 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Or take home a 2026 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive. Only $229 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. Lease offer excludes taxes and fees. No security deposit required. Hurry, these January lease offers end February 2nd, 2026. Visit SouthHillsKia.net and start the new year behind the wheel of a brand new Kia.
Hey, it's Andrew Filipponi for the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 93.7 The Fan, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel is turning on playoff mode, and all customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. So each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. I can't wait for the NFC Championship game. NFC West battle between the Seahawks and Rams Part 3. What a classic they played in Seattle for the 1 seed a few weeks back, and I like the Seahawks again to reign supreme. The Rams have looked shaky. Now they're about to take on the most dominant team in the NFC. Give me Seattle to make it back to the big game. Visit FanDuel.com/Andrew and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus in President, Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is now. Double profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token, expiration, and max wager amount. See terms. Sportsbook.FanDuel.com. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
New year, new ride at Joe Ball GMC. Get a brand new GMC Sierra with up to $11,000 off or 0% or lease for just $279 a month for 24 months. That's $279 a month at Joe Ball GMC, Route 8, Crenshaw. See JoeBallGM.com for details.
Hey, it's Pony back to tell you guys about Xfinity. When Team USA is on, you can almost see the moment a kid starts believing they could be next. Now, while Xfinity can't guarantee that, they can guarantee something just as important, that your internet price won't change for 5 years. That's right, no contracts or commitments. So while your kid is ordering gear online, streaming highlight reels, or video chatting with coaches, your Xfinity internet price won't budge. And who knows, by the time the next Olympic Winter Games roll around, your kid could be getting fitted for their very own Team USA uniform. That would be wild. And guess what? You'll still be paying the same price for reliable Wi-Fi. And there's even more to enjoy with the Xfinity Gold Medal celebration. Now through February 22nd, get your best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 a month value. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary. To get started, call visitxfinity.com or drop into an Xfinity store today.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey sports station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
At JeepofPittsburgh.com, it's our Start Something New sales event. Bring us your best offer on any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram truck, and we're going to beat it. No games, easy as that. Visit JeepofPittsburgh.com for all the details. We truly are Pittsburgh's Jeep store.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Baker's Waterproofing is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600-plus miles of range. What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
All right, Joel Nelson for Fan Headlines. Pitt basketball this afternoon, just under an hour from now, takes on NC State at the Peterson Event Center. A noon tip-off. Coverage on The Fan will begin at 11:30. More headlines at 937thefan.com. Right now, back to Pirates Fest with Dane Zangrilli.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com.
Welcome back. Convention Center, 5 p.m. for Pirates Fest 2026. That's how long we're here to meet your 2026 Buccos. A free event. Go to pirates.com and find your ticket to download it and bring it with you here to warm up. Think some baseball on a very cold Saturday morning turning afternoon. 7 degrees outside, a low of 1. Justin Lawrence, Pirates reliever, is with us right now. Boy, did he burst onto the scene after being claimed from Colorado last March. You're an Arizona guy, so this ain't it for you. Huh?
Yeah, no, this is a different kind of cold for sure.
Oh man, crazy stuff. Best to you on your travels out of here. I know it's going to be dicey with everything rolling in, but I guess you can handle that considering everything that you went through last year. You go into this time last year, you're a member of the basically Rockies organization. You go into spring, some uncertainty there. Pirates jump all over it, right? And they felt really good about the acquisition. And I know Ben Cherington has said that. And almost instantaneously, different environment. Here you are, just out of the gates. Easily you make the team. You develop into one of the more valuable high-leverage relievers for the Pirates. Things are rolling for you. .51 ERA, 17 games. I mean, the whip's in a great spot. Batting average against 153. It couldn't have been going better for you. Like a 180-degree turnaround within like that 45-day stretch. And then you're on the injured list.
Yeah.
With an elbow.
Yeah.
Like that's highest of highs, lowest of lows. Walk me through that.
No, I mean, mentally it's being in this game as long as I have, you kind of know that at some point the injuries inevitably are going to kind of happen. You have to do everything you can in the off season to kind of prepare and mitigate that. But the kind of the direction the game's going with the velocity and the stuff and all that stuff. I mean, I think the numbers like 38% of all MLB pitchers have had Tommy John surgery. So the odds are kind of against you in that regard, but for me, I put a lot of work in the offseason to prepare, and unfortunately last year I had that little bit of a hiccup, so I was kind of down for a big chunk of the season there in the middle, but like you said, to just come over and kind of the fresh start for me, it was a big thing for me mentally, and that just kind of took over physically.
Well, everything started wonderfully. The middle was a big chunk, as you mentioned, that you missed, but then you come back and you were able to pick up where you left off. I mean, walk me through that. Okay, am I going to be able to bottle up and get what I was doing, early in the year? The answer was yes. I mean, you finished the year strong as well.
Yeah, no, and that was the biggest thing for me because, maybe to the organization it was, hey, you're going to get 3.5 weeks of some baseball. Just, get back in the games, feel good. But for me, I just knew it was like, I don't want to just come back and show that I can pitch. I want to still perform. I want them to know, like, hey, this injury, it took up a big chunk of this season, but, like, we got our guy back. When we get to spring next year, we're going to roll right with him again. And like you said, those high leverage spots. So, yeah, for me, it was like every day that I went out there towards the end of the season, regardless of where we were at, in the contention or whatever, is I wanted to show the team that I'm still that back-end guy.
Pirates reliever Justin Lawrence with us here, clean bill of health, an opportunity to contribute to a bullpen that got a little deeper, maybe a lot deeper this past offseason. Acquisition of a couple of left-handers. You're going to slot in there from the right side. Dennis Santana, a back end. He emerged, had a great year, and you're going to fit right in there to be in the mix with guys that, of course, with the starting staff, they gave this team plenty of innings, got plenty deep, but, we can have a number of 5 and dives, it would seem, and feel okay. You get a lead. Pretty confident with the characters in the back end of the bullpen that it's going to be safe.
Yeah, no, definitely. With that, the addition of Gregory Soto, that fire from the left side, Montgomery, the fire from the left side. Having that, and then just kind of having, my quirky sidearm, and then even the young guys that we have that have come in and stepped up in, those 5th, 6th, 7th innings. I don't think those guys get kind of talked about enough. Kyle Nicholas, those guys, they're gonna come through big for us this year. They're going to make that leap into being able to perform in those high leverage situations for us. And when you have those young guys that are able to make that leap and you accompany them with guys with experience, like Soto and Santana and myself, it can make for a bullpen that, like you said, when those starters get the job done, we turn it over and know that we have a big chance to win the game.
Justin Lawrence, checklist here, remainder of the offseason. It's been a good offseason for you so far, but a couple of the items going into Bradenton that you want to make sure that you sew up in these next few weeks.
For me, it's just really just getting these bullpens locked in, going at a little bit of a slower pace this year just to kind of make sure everything's in tune. But, yeah, we'll be here in Bradenton before we know it.
That's it, man. And easy guy to root for, man. Your story coming over here, obviously, you give a different look. It kind of completes a diverse, eclectic bullpen that's going to be, I think, one of the strengths of this team. Justin, thanks so much for the time. All the best getting back home, and appreciate you really taking the time.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the year.
Justin Lawrence, Pirates reliever, our guest, and we now turn to Tamar Johnson, who joins us right here, Pirates Fest 2026. Tamar, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Good to see you.
How are you? Let's turn this up a little bit. There we go.
You guys hear me good?
Yeah, there you go. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, so how's it going on your end?
Really good, really good. I'm happy to be here, see the fans, see the guys from last year, all the same fans from last year, and also meet the new guys, so it's been really good.
All right, 2025, recap your year. It ended in the postseason with the Altoona Curve. That's a tough league, right? Tough ballpark to hit in, but you did. So how do you assess 2025?
Yeah, I think me being in Altoona was a really good introduction to Pennsylvania. Fans treat me really, really well. I really enjoyed my time there. They really took care of me with everything. And, on the game side, it was really, really fun. That field is really beautiful. Enjoyed a lot, learned a lot from the coaches, on the infield side, on the defensive side, and on the mental side. And, got a chance to play really good baseball every single day. Got to really focus on really playing some really good baseball, got some good results, learned a lot. Really got a chance to really put it together, honestly. So it was really good, playing out there. We made a really good playoff push. Yeah. It was always good playing in the playoffs. And
you were, if not the youngest player in that league, you were one of the youngest players. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I was the youngest up until
maybe Connor or
KG. Yeah. Little bro, man. So yeah, it was really good. I think I've always been the youngest player on every team that I played for. Honestly, like I'm the youngest of 3 older brothers.
Oh.
So every time going through high school, I would have to play with my older brother's team, so my mom would save some money and stuff like that. So I've always been used to, you know, playing 2-3 age groups up. So it's not really too much of a adjustment from that standpoint. But, you know, it was really good having a chance to play in that league and learn a lot at that age.
So does that, well, when you're competing against players that are older, like going, even in your own household, you guys are, you know, in the backyard doing whatever, and then you get into pro ball. How does that make you better? You know, they say iron sharpens iron, that sort of stuff. When you're always kind of chasing players that are older, bigger, faster, stronger, maybe better, more experienced than you, that I would imagine has to rub off and pay off in many respects.
Yeah, I think always understanding how much heart you got. You know what I'm saying? Like going out there, it's really, you put your heart into it, you put everything you have into it, effort. You know, you understand the grind, you understand what you need to do, you understand the goal. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, you understand the goal. And the goal in each game is to win the game. And you put your heart in that, and you focus on that, you prepare every single day. And to win that one game, you know, you get to see that win, and you get to see, you know, you get to assess yourself after every single game, whether you win or lose, and you get to take what you can from there, and then, you know, figure out a way to get better from that, you know, win or lose. So I think it's really good, you know. But at the end of the day, if you got heart to win that one game, then, you know, you're going to do whatever you can to win that one game. You know, you're going to put your heart out there.
Tamar Johnson is with us. You mentioned KG, Connor Griffin. He was able to get up to AA Altoona. You're at third base, he's at shortstop. That was a very fun left side of the infield for the curve for, what was it, a couple of months?
Yeah, we got to play up the middle. I was at second base and he was at shortstop.
Oh, that's right.
So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got to, you know, that was my double play partner.
Oh, man.
He's crazy.
So
he's crazy.
Well, yeah. So more on that. Like, give us an insight into what he is and being his double play partner, being his teammate, playing alongside him, having a chance to see that talent.
Man of God, you know, he loves the game. He's been able to do a lot of things in this game at such a young age. I think, you know, going into pro ball, you learn time management. You learn, you know, what to do to get better for a game, what you need to do in terms of preparation, and learning how to play the game and learning the schedule of, you know, going from high school playing 50 games to now playing 140 games. And I think he's done a really good job. He's adjusted quick to it, and he's done a really good job with everything that he's done to this point. So
yeah, I mean, a quick cup of coffee in AAA. I mean, he looks the part. I mean, he almost looks ready to me.
I mean, like, he's 6'4", 250 pounds at 19 years old. Like, he's strong. He big. He can play baseball. He got a good head on his shoulders. And at the end of the day, you know, it comes down to heart, and he has the heart. You know, it's only a few players who have the heart to do this every single day, and, you know, he's one of those. So he's going to be really good to be playing with. You know, he's a great teammate. He's a great teammate, guys. Like, no cap, Connor Griffin is a great teammate. I really enjoyed, you know, being right beside him as a locker mate. You know, he's a really good guy.
So what makes him that way? What's, like, why? You say all that, but, like, why? Give us some more details as to what makes him a great teammate.
Well, I think we blend together really well because, you know, first, you know, our foundation, you know, both being men of God, like, we share that. You know, we've been up the middle. We talk to each other. We're locker mates. I get to talk to him every single day, you know. I really know him on a deeper level. And, you know, it all begins with being a man of God. You know, I think God is really on him, and he's really going to do a really good job in this game. And, you know, he's going to chase the dreams that, you know, God has for him, you know. So it's going to be really good. You know, we're going to help each other out up the middle. We want to win games, so we're going to win games together, and we're going to win games in life. And we're going to do everything that we can to bring God, you know, into this game and, you know, bring more people to God, you know, from this game. And, you know, it starts with winning.
Tamar Johnson is with us. Walk me through what you've done this offseason, what you still need to do before we get to Bradenton, and your ultimate goal here in 2026.
Yeah, just early in the offseason, my focus was, you know, putting on some muscle mass, putting about 10 pounds of muscle mass. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but, you know, I was able to reach that goal. So it was really good being able to put on some muscle mass and, you know, from there on out, get the playing weight from November on. And, you know, I was able, you know, to get to that about 2 pounds from playing weight. So I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we 2 weeks in, so I lose 1 pound a week, I'll be ready to go. But no, like, I feel really good. I feel really healthy. My body's right where it needs to be. You know, I know my routine. I know what I need to do. So, you know, I can go out, you know, in every single game and be comfortable, you know, at the end of the day. And I'm one of those guys that feed off of energy. Like, you know, the more the merrier. The more fans that's there, the louder it gets. So I enjoy, you know, you guys' support. I enjoy meeting you guys. I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy just everything that, you know, this Pirate Fest, you know, event brings. So it's really good meeting the fans and, you know, playing for them and winning for them. So it's going to be really good.
Pirates first-round draft pick Tamar Johnson, one of the Bucs' top prospects. Give it up for him. Tamar Johnson here at David L. Lawrence Convention Center, Pirates Fest 2026. Tamar, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
There he goes.
Let's do it.
And there we go to Pitt Panthers basketball pregame against NC State coming up here in just a moment. So we'll be back this afternoon. More Pirates Fest coverage. The event going on here until 5 p.m. It's free. Go to Pirates.com to get your ticket. Until this afternoon, after Panther basketball against the Wolfpack, Dan Zangrilli. Stay with us. Charlie Borges with Panther Preview is coming up next.
Hey everyone, this is Bob Pompiani. Got some news for you. Let's count the ways that #1 Cochran Kia delivers a clearly better car buying experience. You know,